All right. Welcome everyone to another webinar by Christech Analytics. It is so awesome to have you join us for this power-packed, information-packed, value-packed event that we have curated for, excuse me, that we have curated for you. So welcome. My name is Victor Emmanuel. I am the events coordinator for Christech Analytics, and the team has put together this amazing event for your education, for your upliftment, and we really hope that you would take to heart everything that is said here today, and you put it to work. And we promise that if you do that, you will see so many of your goals come to fruition. So today we are going to be, like you've seen in the memo, we are going to be looking at a very interesting topic. Pardon me. We're going to be looking at a very interesting topic, that is the 2026 roadmap for data analysis, data science, and just what you can use data to do in your everyday life and your business. So we're going to be looking at skills, tools, and market trends for the data science sphere. If you don't know by now, you don't necessarily have to specialize in the data science field or data analysis. As a regular person, as a business person, an entrepreneur, a student, data can come in very handy whenever you're trying to achieve certain goals, certain metrics, whenever you're trying to crush your goals, basically. You know, like I said in one of the memos, our everyday habits really define who we are, really defines how successful we become. So let's just keep that in mind as we learn from the feet of our master, quote unquote, today. And in view of that, I would like to introduce the expert who's going to be speaking to us on the data roadmap for the new year. His name, as you've seen, is Samuel Oludare, and he's a data scientist, a machine learning engineer, an educator with a strong background in data analysis, artificial intelligence, and applied mathematics. I'm impressed already. He has hands-on experience across the data science lifecycle, ranging from data cleaning and visualization to machine learning, deep learning, and model deployment using Python and modern tools. He has taught data analysis, SQL, Power BI, Python at training institutions, helping learners bridge the gap between theory and real-world application. His work spans computer vision, AI-driven educational tools, and practical data solutions with a growing focus on machine learning engineering and scalable AI systems. Beyond the tech space, Samuel is also active in the media and creative industry with experience in photography, videography, and digital content creation. This blend of analytic thinking and visual storytelling allows him to communicate complex ideas clearly, creatively, and impactfully. As a guest speaker, Samuel brings a forward-looking perspective on how data science is evolving in 2026, highlighting emerging roles, essential skills, industry trends, and how students and professionals alike can strategically position themselves for the future of data and AI. It is my utmost pleasure and honor to invite Mr. Samuel Oludare, our data expert for today, to speak to us on the roadmap for data in 2026. Mr. Samuel, the floor is yours. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. Okay.
Yes, we can. Crystal clear.
All right. Let me quickly put up my slides and go straight into what we have today. All right. I believe everyone can see my slide. Oh, okay, good. Once again, good evening, everyone. My name is Ludari Samuel, and they said a few things about me. I'm a data scientist. I love the idea of using data to make things, to create things, to innovate things, and also to tell story. All right. Before we proceed with a show of reactions, I want to just know the population of people who have an idea of data, who have used data to do one or two things, maybe a project, maybe a dashboard, maybe an analytic or anything you've done. They just send a reaction. Okay, okay. All right. Um, okay, so is there anybody here who is new? Maybe this is your first time hearing something on data, or you just came by the flyer and you decided to join this meeting. Is there anyone? Maybe don't really know much of data and you're an aspiring analyst or scientist. Oh, okay. So well, this presentation is meant to guide anyone interested in data, whether you're a student, a beginner, or already working maybe in a company or um um or should I say internship. So it basically prepares you for what lies ahead in this year. All right. So skills, tools, and market strengths. All right. So that means you don't just need the skills, then the tools, then the market trend. So even if you have the skills or you know how to use all these tools, you need to understand what is out there. You need to know what people use there. You need to be updated. All right. You need to be updated with everything that's happening in the market. All right. All right. So yeah, preparing for the future of data and AI. So um, let's go to the next slide. All right. Why this topic matters? Okay. So like I said, you need to be updated. Data rules are changing faster than ever. All right. So you could hear, oh, you're a data scientist today, oh, you're a market analyst, oh, you're a financial analyst. You tend to hear, I think the common words you would just hear are data analyst and data scientist or data engineer, maybe. Then you begin to hear some other roles, um some other fields, all right, that you're not really familiar with. All right, so there are a lot of rules, new rules are coming up, and you just have to like know what's going on in the market, like I said. And also AI is no longer optional. So if you've always been like, oh, I don't want to work with data, let me just do SQL, or let me just do Power BI, or let me just do little or no codes. Well, sorry to say, there's really no tool you would use in the data space that there is no bit of AI implementation. So SQL still stands alone. You might not really like see some AI, but when you're writing SQL in some other platforms or some other you would have to like use AI, maybe um basically all tools basically use AI. All right. So you have to be a part of it. You have to get used to it. You have to get familiar with it, and also learn to work with AI. So there've been a lot of things you would hear. Okay, you need to know this, you need to know that before you can understand data. Well, things evolve, like I said. So this is 2026. You know how the market was in 2020, 2021, and all of that. So few years ago, knowing Excel or basic SQL, or maybe you could do some dashboard and you just post it. Oh, I did this dashboard and all of that. So well, it doesn't end there. All right. So expectations are much higher. All right, so it's not just okay. You've done the dashboard. It's very beautiful. You've been able to like give some details on the workflow. You got the data, you cleaned it, you did this, then you visualize this, right? So there are much expectations for this year and for the future, basically. All right. So, like I said, AI is now embedded in everything we do. You have to adapt, all right? Not just to be good. There's no need to be good with a particular tool. You just need to like adapt, all right? So, and it's a very valuable skill you should have in this 2026. Either whichever data field you are on, whichever data space we are currently working on. All right. Let me go to the next slides. My slides are short, but I will just give detailed explanations as we move on. Now, the data and AI landscape in 2026. So, other things we've worked with, or other platforms, or other things already in the data space from last year, or maybe 3, 4 years. Let's just say 4 year margin, 4 years ago. Now, most organizations are becoming, like recently, are becoming AI by default, or they integrate AI to their systems. Now, if a platform or a startup or a company wants to add some updates, to their platforms, you would about, I don't want to say 90%, but let's just say 80% and above, the feature to be embedding is going to be an AI feature, maybe, and maybe AI chatbot or AI this, and basically anything, any feature they want to like adapt or embed to their systems or to their platforms. There will be most likely something related to AI, right? So, and they'll try to like push it as much as possible, because everybody's now begin to see the use of AI and automations. Because imagine AI, a bot doing the work of 100 people. All right, there are cons of it. When you hear people, oh, people are being laid off because AI is now doing their work, but there's always someone that has to control AI. So do some of these things. So automation is replacing repetitive analysis. You have to do this every day. You have to do that every day. You go to work and you have a particular task. Now, AI can do that task without you. So it can be programmed, or you could build agent or something that would do that in every day at an appointed time. So by 6 a.m., do that, to do it for you. Then the next day to keep doing it as long as a time has been set and all of that. Oh, okay. Can you hear me clearly now? Someone says he can't hear me. All right, so I think.
Yeah, we can actually hear you clearly. I guess that person should check their network because you're very clear.
Oh, okay, thank you. So data professionals are everywhere. They're building, they're deploying, they are doing a lot of things using data. All right, so then business impact matters more than dashboards. Now, one of my mentors, when I was working on some project on data analysis, like that has to do with visualizations, he said many people build visuals or build dashboards what um without really understanding what they've done. Like, you just fill up your dashboards with visuals and just put some things there to just make it beautiful. But the purpose or the end goal of these visuals or these dashboards are meant to impact your business. They are meant to represent some things. They're meant to explain some things on how things are going on in your company, in anything you do. So it's not just about building dashboard or building systems. What are their impacts in businesses? So what matters more than producing reports are the impacts those insights have in decision making. Oh, January, February, maybe we have high purchase. December because of Christmas or other activities, we have low or we have high. So those things are like basically what businesses or organizations need to make meaningful decisions moving on. All right, next slide. Now, core skills for data professionals in 2026. Well, this is a combination of multiple roles like data analyst, machine learning engineer, data scientist, data engineer, cloud experts, DevOps, and other external part of data. So, but there are some tools or there are some skills you need before you go into each of those roles, right? So I'll still mention some roles and how you can like adapt and get started. Now, basically, I'll say generally, Python, SQL, and statistics are like the main foundation. They remain the foundational aspect of data. So you hear people like, oh, I don't like statistics, I don't like maths, I'm not really good at maths. Can you just teach me SQL? Can you just teach me something that won't require me to do maths? So, well, I really want to tell you not to run it anymore. You should just know. You don't need to know. I think there's like, I would say, like a crazy part. There are just some things you need to understand in maths, or I would say statistics generally, to have or to it will actually impact, or it will influence your decisions on taking some steps when you get to some, maybe let me say, imbalanced data sets, or decision making when you're trying to analyze or work on a particular project. All right, so don't run for maths. Don't. It's not really as difficult as you think. The way you can read something and you understand is the same way you can understand the math or the statistics behind data or whatever is being done there. So Python, SQL are foundational, like especially Python, basically. Um, there was a time, if roles like doing data analysts, maybe the needed or necessary skills were just Excel, maybe Power BI or Tableau, then mm, SQL. Let's just add SQL. And people be like, "Oh, I'm not doing Python. I just do Excel. I just do." And now analysts are beginning to understand or to realize that although you are an analyst and you do your SQL, your Power BI or Tableau, now people are now telling them, start learning Python or go and know how to code with Python. It makes analysis easier, and it helps you to transition or switch roles, or Python is basically like the foundation, the main foundation for all of this, right? So then beyond that, having great understanding of machine learning fundamentals. So machine learning, so from the word machine learning, I don't. Okay, let me just talk. So from the word machine learning, basically you're using data or history, right? I will say history or past records to train a model to predict future records or future occurrences based on what's happened in the past. All right, you just let me relate it to we reading our books, and when we want to write exams based on what we've read, we then answer. Although we're answering based on what was written. So if there are certain future questions, this might not be related to what you read, but it's just you using what happens in the past, to understand the trends. Okay, this is why this happened. It tries to understand all of that. Then it's now what makes prediction for the future. Then you need to just understand fundamentals, regression, classification, clustering, and all of that. So you just need to understand the essentials, even if you don't want to become a machine learning engineer. All right. So the cloud platform. So those who are interested in cloud, DevOps, and so on, AWS, Azure, GCP. So um, some of these tools are interwoven, although AWS is cloud service, Azure is a cloud service. We have Google also cloud service, but it's easy to transition from AWS to Azure or Azure to, because basically like when you're deploying and all of that. So these are like the major systems now because we live in the cloud. I want to believe. Okay, let me just ask a random question. Um, how many of us use Google Drive or maybe Google Drive? Let's just say Google Drive. So I think that's like the only cloud platform that the layman would use without knowing he or she is using a cloud platform. So we have AWS, we have Azure, we have then Google. So I think Google has been able to like make us use their cloud platforms without you now knowing that, oh, this is what cloud platforms do, this is how you develop, this is how you deploy, and all of that. So everybody uses cloud platforms. You might not know that, but as long as you use really Google apps where you everything automatically stored. When you lose, okay, let me say when you lose your phone or your laptop, when you log out or you get a new laptop and you sign into your Google account, what do you notice? Everything you've used on across all Google services comes back to your new phone or to your new laptop. So that's how easy using the cloud platforms are. All right. So, and at the same time, technical skills alone are not enough. All right. So you still need to read. I know people who don't like reading books. They are books for data. You want to? I have a lot of books. To be honest, last year, I think beginning of last year was when I had to like just force myself to like read some books, and well, not like I finished them, but I had to like just read some chapters, and I was able to understand why this, why that, why this in the data space. So some books, like data books, can be boring. Like imagine you reading some books and you're seeing codes, reading some books and you're seeing codes, but they are well explained, they're well detailed. So I want to advise, even if you've not started coding or you don't have the luxury of of you don't have the luxury of platforms to work with, you can start reading books. There was someone who reached out to me and was like, "Oh, I'm really interested in knowing data. I want to know data analysis. I want to know machine learning and all that." And like, "Oh yeah, sure, I can help you." And he said, "But he doesn't have a laptop." All right. So he said he's planning to get one, but I told him before then, read books. So read books. They would really help you. Well, I don't know if you read all. I'm sure, or anybody's going to who hasn't started like fully, and you have opportunity to meet some books, not advanced books. All right. So don't go and read a book that is saying maybe chapter 10, starts from chapter 10, or book 2. So there's a book that had a chapter 1, chapter 2, then you're buying the 5, you might get lost. So start from the basic books. There are a lot of books online. I can also like share some books that would help in fundamentals of machine learning, data analysis, and tools that we are familiar with. So then not non-technical skills, problem framing, communications and storytelling, ethical AI awareness. Now, well, before you actually solve a problem, you really need to understand that problem. You need to look at it from different points. You don't just take actions. Okay, so I trained some students in data analysis sometime last year, and I told them to build a dashboard. Right, it was a financial about 3 data sets, a financial dashboard from I think a shopping mall in India. And I actually didn't give them further instructions. I just said, okay, build a dashboard. Let me see what you can come up. Let's see how you can interpret these things. Then following day, someone like about 2 students submitted. I was like, wait, I don't understand. How not like you can't be faster, you can't really like do things fast. So I now hacked that. What were the steps you followed? One of them, okay, then before I said the second one, the first person told me that he got the data set, he loaded it into Power BI, and he built the dashboard. And I was like, oh my God. So you didn't even look at the structure of the data, you didn't clean the data, you didn't check for some things, it just went straight to just design or build your dashboard. And if I tell you to now explain it all, your figures might be, you would definitely be wrong. Some of your informations will be wrong because the dashboard was dirty. Like, it was a rough dashboard. Some cleaning were needed to be done before to use them. So you don't just jump into problems and start solving. You need to really understand that problem, and also the materials and the resources you've been given to work with will really help. So all of these things are things you still need to know before you now get into it. So I'm not just going straight to, oh, this is a roadmap, learn this, learn that, learn this. These are some things you need to understand before you now start, or while you are in it, you can apply some of these things. Communication and storytelling, same thing. um Communication, so storytelling or visual telling. So when you work on something, and I don't want to keep using dashboards, so there are other things. So you should be able to break it down. All right. So this is the problem, and these are some ideations I had. These are some cons and pros. Okay, if I take this step, it will favor 50% of people or students, and 50% won't be favored. Okay, let's change it. Let's look at something else. Don't just have one solution, although there could be problems maybe that would have one solution, but try to look at other parts, try to look at other aspects, try to evaluate it well. Don't rush into giving solutions. All right. And one field that really, really matters to is the healthcare. There was an hackathon I was privileged to join. I think it was last 2 years. And people were pitching what they've done and all of that. And there was a team that came, very beautiful solution, like very beautiful solution. But they were asked the question, and they were like, how many what's the success rate or the percentage would you give this platform? It was an healthcare app that I think not the detection, but it was something in the healthcare. And the guy was like, he said he had the courage, and he said 85%. Oh my God. Like in the healthcare, anything you are going to be building must be, let's just say 99.9%. You have to be 99.9% sure, because even at 0.01%, can cost the life of a patient. So whatever solution you are building, you should have, thought about a lot of things, evaluate a lot of things, get people to test it. Meet if you want to do some, so if you want to build solutions in the healthcare field, meet doctors, go to hospitals, tell them you want to see the doctor, you are building something. If you want to solve issues with maybe consumable platform, maybe that has to do with food deliveries or anything, meet people who order food online. What do you face? So whatever solution you want to build, try to meet people in that space. Let them test it. Let them tell you how they feel about it and what solutions can come up with. Don't think for people. Don't assume, oh, just wake up on morning. I want to build a chatbot. Maybe a chatbot that can tell you what's wrong with you, or chatbot that can do this. And you just start building. And the next thing, you've uploaded it on all platforms. Oh, I built this, I built this. What is the essence of what you've built? What solution are you solving? Although someone will say, well, anything you want to build in Nigeria, someone a 10 or is this a 12-year-old kid in China? A 10-year-old kid in China has already built it. That's just by the way. But if you are building for some set of people, or you are building for Africa, or you're building for Nigerians, or whatever field, like I said, you just need to get the data used to build an healthcare app in the US is not what you used to build for Nigeria, like totally different. So just try to like know your target audience, the people you claim to solve their problem. You've not met them and you're building and you're creating like a solution for them. So then ethical AI awareness. So this you need to be very, very careful of how data is being sent, how data is received, who sees data. When I don't want to say Nigerians, but most people, when you jump on platforms, or you jump on should I say, let's just use mobile apps. We do not bother, or we don't check to reach their terms and conditions. We just skip. Nobody has time, to be honest. I don't know if it's we just skip everything and just sign up. I can't be reading these jargons. And the thing is that people know that most people don't read those terms and conditions, but they will still add it there. Even if it will take 5,000 words of terms and conditions, they will still add it there. So on their own end, they really have nothing to do with what goes south. All right, because you signed in and you said you accept the terms and conditions. How do you share data? Where do you get your data from? When people fill your forms, or when people give you and trust their data into your hands, how do you take care of them? All right, so people should know that they are bad people. All right, so not everybody is building to help you, or really cares about you. Some people want to do some bad stuff. Some bad people would want to do some bad stuff, and when they get hold of your data, things can get messy. All right, next slide. I'm checking my time. All right, AI skills you must start building now. Beginners shouldn't get scared here. All right, although there's some things that are kind of like advanced here. All right, but there's something they'll say that you can start from a particular field or a particular role and just understand the core or everything inside that field. So if you want to I want to give a very simple. So okay, if you want to teach, right? If you want to teach a subject, or you want to teach a particular course, you need to understand the other courses that are connected to it. All right. So if I want to teach well, let me give a good example. All right, so if you want to teach maybe mathematics, for instance, all right, and you want to teach, and there are some courses, or there are some scheme of work that has been listed. Okay, and you find something like, oh, we're going to be doing algebra here, we're going to be doing sorts here, you're going to be doing maybe shapes, you're going to be doing sets, you're going to be doing calculus, integration. So how do all of this work? You need to understand each of them, then you combine it to now what apply it to whatever field you want to go into. People are doing prompt engineering, AI assistants, they call them agents today. Agents understanding LLMs. These are like so how they work, not just how to use them. All of us just jump on ChatGPT. Do you understand how these guys work? How they are pre-trained, the data they are used to make them. It's not just knowing how to use them. Do you really understand how they work? Evaluating your models you built, or the inconsistencies. How do you evaluate them? What do you see? How do you interpret them? So well, now there is an excessive use, or excessive addiction to AI. Let me just quote and unquote. Well, if you look at it from different angles, you might end up with the idea that AI is not um, excessively used, right? Oh, and you have an error, you have gone to AI. You have this issue, you've gone to AI. You don't even think, you don't read. There was a student I used to take, and if he runs any line of code and he gets any error, he will just, oh, Sir Samuel, what is going on? I've tried this and I've been running it, I've been doing this, it's not working. And when I see that error, when I see the code and I see the error, I was like, the answer to your issue is written there in your error. Like, you don't have to copy your error and go to ChatGPT and start, just get lost. Look at the error, read the error. Oh, indentation error. Oh, syntax error. Oh, this error. Read the error, understand it, go back to your code, correct it. So it really helps when you, okay, let me just say, don't be totally dependent on AI. All right. I'm not saying it's bad, but trying not to be addicted, like they say, do not be addicted. It helps. Yeah, I know it helps. Like I've written here, it boosts productivity. It helps you work fast. Speed answers like in less than a second. You could just get everything you need. But try to also debug things. Try to think what could be going on. What is the error message showing? All right. So these are a lot of things that everybody in the data field should understand, irrespective of data fields. I'm not in all of the data fields. I'm just in maybe like two or three. So, but these are things that everybody should know when you're working with data. So now let's go. Let's so yeah. I'm still on this tools shaping the data world. Now, like I said, many tools are interwoven or are interrelated. When you use Python to analyze your data, you will still use Python, converting Python to Streamlit or FastAPI or Docker. You still use Python, you still use SQL in data engineering, scikit-learn, library for machine learning. You still use it to like build your models and all of that, PyTorch, TensorFlow, and all of that. So they are interwoven. So, but data analysis, yeah, Python, Pandas, SQL. Some people might be worried or wondering why I didn't add Excel. Um, so for data science, well, I can be corrected, but for data science, I don't want to say it so people don't come for me. But for data science, you might really not need Excel. I'm sorry. You might really not. I'm not saying you totally do not need it. I'm not saying that, but you might not need it as a data scientist. As a data analyst, you would okay, you can still fall back. But not like it's going out of extent or but I think since Microsoft successfully they extracted Power BI. So what they extracted from Excel was basically Power BI. And now there are a lot of things you can do on Power BI that you really don't have to go back to Excel. And there are people who use Excel to do everything, like analysis. And the thing is that I think Microsoft have really like added some beautiful and some big features and implementations. For those who know when you work with data on Excel, this syntax, like a lot of things have been added. I think the latest, I think 2024, 25, we are using the latest Microsoft packages. But yeah, now they are bringing AI to their apps. Adobe too, everybody's bringing AI, implementing AI, use AI to do this. Then for visualization, we have Power BI, Tableau, and so on. Time is running. All right. So well, I just listed few of these jobs. So now there's a lot of demand for those in the data space, either both physical or hybrid roles. And we have the rise of machine learning engineers, analytics engineer, AI product specialist, I there are other ones that you have see data scientists, all right, machine learning engineers, like I said, and data engineers and so on. So less demand for Excel only. So I hope people will not say that I'm attacking Excel users, but for in the data analysis field, it is still well known and widely used. But in the data science, there's the less demand for Excel only rules. You just need C. Should I just say you just need to know some Python, like then you can like grow and understand some other aspects. All right. Portfolio and projects, they matter more than certificates. Some people will still come for me, but um it's more of what you can do to solve my problem. If I want to employ you, what solutions are you bringing? How can you solve my problem? I don't just want to see your certificate. Oh, my best students. Oh, you do this, you won all of this in your school, but how can you use this skill you said you have to solve my problem before I can give you a job? Right. So certificates are very interesting. They help you. They can help push you more. They can help give you advantage over others. But what can you actually do to solve my problem? All right. Um, so how do you prepare for 2026? So this is like a practical roadmap. I will just my time is going, time is running. All right. So the master the fundamentals. People do not like learning the basics. I keep saying it. Learn the basics, learn the basics. You don't see that majority of the things you will still use that would make you stand out and make you more skilled and data oriented in the midst of other data people is if you understand basics. If you understand basics. Oh, you say loops are very simple, functions are very simple. Oh, OOP is very simple. You jump into the next thing you are going straight into import pandas as PD, bring your data set. Oh yeah, let's do machine learning. You need to understand the basics of how things work before you can start. All right. So Python, SQL, statistics. For those who want to do more of engineering work, you need SQL. See, the SQL is really deep. It's like there's advanced too. If you want to go into that engineering, ML engineers or data engineers, you need a lot of SQL. All right. So build projects, not just tutorials, build projects, deploy, show them on LinkedIn, show them on Twitter. Oh, you did this, you did that. Even if somebody else has done it, but people knowing you can also do it, and you're coming up. You tell a story. Oh, last year you did this. In the next 2 years, you do something greater. All right. So learn to deploy models, use AI tools, follow industry trends, communities, join communities. Thank God for what Christech Analytics what they're currently doing. So join communities. That's basically what really help you grow, what will really help you to get more experience, get more trends, what's going on in the industry, tech news, follow tech people, follow data scientists on Twitter, on LinkedIn, know people, meet people, connect, network, and yeah, all of that. So for each rules, maybe okay, since I can just send it to the community. So for each rules, there are some tools that are interwoven that okay, you use this tool here, you use that tool there, and you can basically like use them to to work to work together. All right. Um, beginning to round up. So some key takeaways: data careers are evolving, not dying. So like AI is like the next thing. All right. AI is like the next thing. And AI is a collaborator. Yes, it's not an enemy. It's not destroying you. Although it has, relieved people of um, work, what they do, and it's not taking over. But we would definitely still need people who would use AI to make a difference in our society. So skills, tools, mindsets gives you future readiness. So don't just know those tools. Are you skillful enough to use them to innovate, to create a difference? And also, how do you think? How do you see issues? How do you see problems? How do you interpret it? How do you ideate your solutions um to actually like solve some problems? So yeah, start preparing now, not in 26. Start preparing now. So don't wait till someone pushes you or something. And people start tutorials, they don't finish. People start put scams, they don't finish. online, you just do join one boot camp online, maybe Coursera, and you don't finish. Just don't stop biting apples and leaving it. Don't pick different apples and chew. Start something, finish it, be accountable. Know that, oh, when you're doing this in the next 1 year, where do you want to see yourself? You want to do this, you want to be able to have done all of that. So time is fast spent. Maybe when questions come in, I can use that to finish up. So thank you very much once again. I hope I've been able to give some breakdowns of the things you need to know before you go into your data career. Thank you very much. My name is Oludari Samuel, and I remain your guest.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. It has been a pleasure listening to you. We've learned so much. It has been so informative. So, like I said earlier in the chat, please, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat box. I'm going to take the first few because we are running out of time. So, first come, first serve. Yeah, any question based on everything he said, and even probably out of the scope, I guess he would still have some insights into any questions you might have. So let's take questions. Once again, thank you, Mr. Samuel, for your time. We really appreciate it at Christech Analytics. So we have a question. It says, is it compulsory? This is from Tahid. Is it compulsory to get internship before moving into the industry, or we can just apply for roles that we are certain that we can work as a data analyst, data engineer, data scientist, AI engineer, and so on? What is your take on this, or what is your opinion? We are upcoming tech babies in the industry. So, Mr. Samuel.
All right. So, well, I would first of all let me throw shades or jams to companies that they really dull people's morale. All right, when you want to apply for jobs, oh, you need to have gotten some internship. Oh, you've not worked anywhere. Sorry, we don't give internship. Sorry, you need 5 years experience. This and that. So, well, as much as internships are very, very important, their importance is really not agreeable, negotiable. Why? Because you need some level of understanding or some level of experience as an intern working under maybe a senior data analyst or a senior machine learning engineer or a senior this or senior that to train you, to correct you, maybe 6 months or 3 months. Some do it during when they're in school, or some do it when they're done. But that internship would see you can make all the mistakes you want to make in your internships. The moment you are given a job, oh, you are a data this and you should do this. Any mistake you make can cost you your job, or it is detrimental. So, in as much as okay, people can actually solve, or they can actually shy away from some questions or for some problems during their internships. Or you might not, some people don't even need internship. Maybe you are very smart, or you are just that experienced. You've been doing working from home, or you've been doing working on projects. So maybe internship might feel like, oh, you might feel like, oh, I don't need an internship. But you can also just go straight to what you want to do. I mean, I think that was what the person said. They can also like go straight to what you want to do. Um, if you want to go into the medical field, just work on projects that you can use to go in, that you can use. So you build a model for diabetes or for lung disease, or just work on projects for that. If you want to work in the financial sector, oh, market analyst, oh, risk analyst, oh, okay, get stock data, do some visualizations, do some analysis, build some models in that field. So any field you want to work with, that's like an artisan. You can like work on things that pertain to that field. You can specialize. All right. So data scientist, that's like a general. As a data scientist, you can actually specialize to any part of those fields you want to do. All right. So sometimes you can be a data scientist and you can apply for a data analyst role. Yes, but you have to be able to like, so your CV has to be like revamped for a data analyst. And I know somebody's a data analyst. He has a CV for data scientist. He has a CV for ML engineer. He has a CV for data analyst. That's because you went through all those you don't need to do that. You can just like, you want to become a data analyst, just do work in that field. But the thing is, like I said, they're interwoven, and you can still speak to a data scientist as an analyst, and he can understand what you are talking about, and he can speak to you and you can understand, because everything that unites everybody is still data. So that internship, if you get internship is not compulsory, all right, but it is really helpful. If you can get it, please do. You don't need to and if you can skip it, you just need a strong foundation. If you want to skip it, you need a strong foundation, a solid portfolio, ability to explain your work clearly. Like, you must be sound. But if you are not skipping it, please make good use of it, because it will really help out. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that clarification. If you have any other question, anybody, you can even unmute your mic and say your question out loud. But please do so as soon as possible, like very fast, because we have less than 10 minutes for the event to end. Thank you again, Mr. Samuel. I just keep thanking you. I mean, even from your slides, they are just so beautiful, well prepared. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your knowledge shared. In the absence of any question, I'm just going to hand over to our founder, Mr. Christopher, to just round us off. So, Mr. Christopher, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel, for this incredible presentation. I believe everyone that participated in this meeting, in this session, really learned a lot. And I'm sure it has prepared you for this 2026. Yes, I'm sure it has prepared you. This is a new year, and I believe this presentation would give you a guide to how you would approach this 2026. I really observed the previous year, and I looked into this, and I was like, we really need to have a session that would guide us before we start putting our hands into tools and other sort of activities. And our speaker here, Samuel, has really done justice to this, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. With that being said, by next week, we'll be having a challenge week in the community. We don't just want to receive this information, we want to also practice them and see how it is in the real world. So yeah, it's a lot has been said, and I'll just try and be very brief about this. There were some aspects that the speaker made mention of, about instead of just going straight to using tools, it's beyond, the data space is beyond using tools. You need to read, you need to understand foundational concepts, you need to understand it properly, you need to understand what you're doing before you start handling tools or writing code. Yeah, it's very, very important. And to our new members that are just joining us, I want to make it known that this community is not just for a particular field of people in the data space. It's for data analysts. Are you a data analyst? Are you a data scientist, machine learning engineer, AI, or whatsoever field in the data space? You are welcome to this community. My name, for many of you that don't know my name yet, my name is Christopher Onyeneke. I'm the founder of Christech Analytics. So let's go out there and own this roadmap. And I really want us to participate in these activities that we're having. It's going to really help you. I don't want you to be a spectator. Don't just observe or be a ghost viewer, observe what's going on there. That's not how growth happens. You need to participate in every activity, then you will see the changes yourself. So that will be all from my end. Thank you very much for participating in this webinar. See you all later. Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.